Alright everybody, in this video I'm going to be showing you a little bit of how I used to do it and the way I'm going to do it from now on, but the cataloging, uploading of inventory, pricing, alphabetizing, that kind of thing. With I guess it's part of TCGPlayer Pro 2.0, but their scanning app's been updated. The camera resolution isn't. Now you can actually use their app to scan in cards, whereas before it was pretty much impossible because the resolution of the camera just was too low, and it messed with the lighting. It was just not very good software they were using. So they've updated that, I've noticed, and must have been the last 1 to 2 months because I had given up on it. And Manabox worked great, but I was having trouble finding a way to take the Excel sheet, the CSV file it spits out, and importing it to be able to use it when I'm uploading for TCGPlayer. Has to do with formatting issues, but someone online wrote a script to do it, so you just upload your file into the script, it converts it, just formats the information in the one Excel sheet to the parameters that TCG needs, and then you can go in past that, and I'll show you how you do that, but adjust prices and all that. So, yeah, I'm going to be showing two things in this video. One, Manabox, how I'll probably still use that for Magic, just because it's a little bit faster, and the UI I think is more user friendly and a little bit easier on the eyes, that stuff. But for the games that it supports, I'm going to be using the TCGPlayer app to just scan things into inventory directly. So things like One Piece, Star Wars, these games that I have thousands of cards in backlogs of inventory that needs to be uploaded, that would literally take me days to do, that I've just been dreading to do. I'm going to be able to bust out in a handful of days and have it all up and live. So we're going to go through that process, the old one a little bit, and then the new ones. So, yeah. Okay, so first I'm going to show you the old way of how I used to do this. Now these two boxes have already been put into inventory. They're live on TCG right now, but I will have to do the alphabetization, but it really doesn't take that long, because the way I used to do it, I would do what I call the rough sort. You break the box down, you get, like these are all commons here, and then uncommons of a certain set. This set is actually Final Fantasy. So you do your rough sort. You break. What I do is I take commons, uncommons, and rares and mythics are the same to me, but all the non-variant, just regular art versions of those cards, I just separate. Now everything that's an alt art gets sleeved and separated. Extended art, alt art, yada yada, all get separated and listed by hand. Now, like I said, the regular rares, the regular commons, the regular uncommons, and their foil variants. How I used to do it was with a checklist. So I'd have, all my rares as a list, all my uncommons as a list, and then I'd just pick, like, say, my commons. And I go into my sorting tray, which is actually two trays of spliced together, and you just put piles for each letter. And then when you're done doing that for this many cards, you go back through each letter, and then you file along the lists, and then you, like a Realm Reborn, let's say you had, 8 of them or whatever, and then this is for regular and foil, you just write 8 in the regular, go to the next one, boom, 3, 2, And then you just do that, and then you put them in these same trays with these tabs that would have letters written on them. And later, I'll show you some of the cabinets with those in them. But that's how I used to have to do that. And then I would have to go back through on the computer and hand put each quantity in, double checking it's the right card and the right quantity. And then I would have to price it out myself and what my price would be. Now, this box right here, so this is Tarkir Dragon Storm, some stuff I just had open and hadn't put up yet. This is the rest of the Final Fantasy commons and uncommons I hadn't put up yet. These are all live. These two boxes are live. This box here is Final Fantasy, but these are just the foils and the lands. So the uncommon and the common foils and then the lands. And I would have to do those separately. Like I said, you know, let's say I'd have, 8 of a Realm Reborn and, 1 of this or 2 of the same card in foil. So, it's very time consuming the way I was doing it. But, next I'm going to show you how I'm going to hopefully start doing it now. Alright everybody, so I'm in Manabox now, and these are just some Final Fantasy cards of me working with that are already uploaded. I just grabbed them out of a box, just for an example. But in Manabox, you go to Scan. I'll show you how easy it is in Manabox. Oh, that's my cat playing in there. But, yeah, you can do this quickly in Manabox. God, calm down there, girl. Alright, so you scan your cards, you make sure they're the right set, yada yada. And then you can add these to a collection. And I'm going to go ahead and just start a new collection and name it Final. I think these were commons. Doesn't really matter though. We'll just do Final C. All right. Now that we've made our collection, what we do is we go to collections, click on it. We're going to click on our 3 dots here and go to export. And we're going to export as a CSV file. Yep, and then once we have that file, I would email it. So I would hit Gmail and email it to myself, and then go back and download it. So we can do that. So now that I have this file, I should be able to download it. Let's see, and I'm going to download my file here. And then the next step, we're going to be converting this file into a version of it that TCG can use for import. So that's next. Alright everybody, now that we have our original CSV from Manabox download, what we're going to do is we're going to go to this URL here, the mtg.yourfriendshouse.co. Not sponsored or anything, just happened to find it. I believe this is just a script somebody wrote, like I said, to reformat the Excel sheet to be usable by TCG. But anyway, from this page you're going to go click upload file and choose file. In this case it's this one, Final C. Upload and process. Then you're going to just download it. So yes, download again. And then you can go in your file management and rename that file to Final C or whatever else. And then you can upload that file to TCG. So we're going to do that now. All right, you can see that I've emailed this to myself here. This is our list. I'm gonna go ahead and download it. And once that's downloaded, I'm gonna go here in TCG Seller Portal, the pricing tab. You're gonna do import to staged and choose a file. And then you're gonna choose the file we just downloaded that we had emailed ourselves, the one that we converted. Computer's very slow. I need to update it. We're gonna upgrade it or just get a new computer. But we're gonna grab our file here. Open this one up. Continue, and it's gonna say all headers are valid. All that stuff's good as whereas before, you just take the CSV that Manabox spits out default. First thing it'll say is headers are invalid, and you won't be able to use it. So, shout out to whoever wrote that script. But anyway, moving on here. Go, and then I can push it to live. That's gonna just whatever information was on that sheet. It's gonna update that in my live inventory if I already have cards set that price, or if I don't, it's just gonna set the price at whatever the market value that Manabox appraised that card to be at. That's what it'll set it as. That's what's at in the data. So I'm going to view staged inventory. This is going to show us like we have two, like currently I have 11 up, but it counted 2 adventures ins, and it'll show you my live price is 15 cents, the market price is 12 cents, the lowest, so you can match it. And then I'm going to go back through and just, price check each one of these. I don't sell any cards less than 10 cents, so like that. Well, there's some cards that I do sell at 5 cents, but they're very few. But yeah, and then so instead of plugging the quantity, price checking, making sure it's the right card, and doing all that, this is way easier. So I would just go through for all the selections, just make sure the prices are right, and then I would hit save first, and then refresh the page, and then move to live. We're not going to do that since these cards are already in my inventory live. So I don't need to do that. But in the next bit here, I'm going to show you Manabox is great for Magic, but it does not register, as far as I know, any other card games. And with the update to TCGPlayer Pro app or TCGPlayer app, I'm going to be able to scan natively and natively import franchises like One Piece, Gundam, Star Wars, that kind of stuff that I have, quite a few thousand cards backlog of. So I'm going to be showing that process next. All right, guys, we're back here in the TCGPlayer app. And here you can select your franchise, the condition, foil, etc. I'm going to show you can put other franchises other than Manaboxes, so, limited to Magic, into your inventory onto TCG natively now that they've improved the resolution of the scan function in the app. And I think that, like I said, I think this is all part of TCGPlayer 2.0 or whatever, because this is new. This is the last time I tested this. It's been no more than 2 months at the maximum. The camera resolution sucked. It would not scan cards. Didn't matter what you did. Even for Magic cards, it was like 1 in every 10. If it was running like good, it sucked. But anyway, they've definitely given it a quality of life improvement, and you'll see that here in a second. This is all Spark of the Rebellion. light does affect it. I had to move because my cats are playing. Little kittens I got are playing and making noise and banging the walls and stuff, so I had to move out here into the living room to do this, but there you go. And then I haven't actually uploaded from this yet because I haven't sat down, and I'm going to go through and I got to sort the Star Wars cards I have, pull out the hyperspace cards. I didn't know when I opened these and rough sorted them months ago when I first got them that, I didn't know anything about Star Wars or the hyperspace cards, but I do now, so I got to do another rough sort before I scan these in, but just for demonstration purposes, let's try to figure this out. So I'm assuming I can like upload this list, just something. Let's share. Huh. Okay, we save to a new list. Alright, we'll call this star. Do S, I guess. Create. Okay. Okay, there we go. Import to seller portal. And then maybe if I go to my seller portal, I can see this in my staged inventory, maybe? Nope. That's not good. Okay, so but they should show up here. Let me see. There's a My Little Pony card game. I had no clue. Okay, try live Star Wars. See what's up. And Okay, guys, I guess I wasn't sure exactly what happened there when I imported it to seller portal. I'm guessing it just put it into my live inventory. It's only 10 to 20 cards. I can weed that out on the lap or the desktop, no problem. But I would assume that it probably just pushes everything to your live inventory at the market price, and then you can go back and change the pricing or whatnot. But that really is bad. If that's the way it's doing it, that really sucks for like integrating more cards into an existing catalog of the same set. Because it can manipulate your already set price. Whereas if you start with a new set, something that you don't have any inventory of, upload it, nothing in your live inventory of, like this set of Star Wars. You can just scan all of it at once, push it to live, and then you can export a CSV file and go into Excel, change your prices there, like copy and paste, change them in the column, save that file, import it back into the pricing tab, and upload. Do your price checking in Excel after it's been pushed to live inventory. That's probably the best way to do it, and that's still one way I, not manipulate, but change my pricing. from time to time. I've gotten away from that. I just basically put the price in once, kind of get it done. I don't really like going back and getting more stock of a set that I already have a lot of inventory of and integrating it back into the catalog. It's just from a logistical standpoint, it takes a lot more time. It's a lot harder. You gotta, you already have your cards of that set alphabetized. Now you have all these new cards that have been alphabetized and inventoried and whatnot. And now you gotta mix these two together, and just a lot of physical logistical shit that just, if you can avoid it, is better to do so. But better just get all the cards of one set that you have and do it all at once, and then just don't have to don't go back and put more, like another box in or something. That I've done that in the past, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it does take more time to integrate them back in the catalog. So that being said, hopefully this video can help somebody, at least make them realize, like I didn't, that the TCGPlayer app has been updated to now you can actually scan shit in. It works. It's not dog shit, broken crap that eBay didn't want to fix or do anything about. So it's a huge deal, not for like stores that have scan machines or people who only sell high dollar singles and shit, like, but for people who are trying, who sell everything, who sell commons and uncommons, the cheap cards, but that aren't direct sellers, for people like me, even if you are a direct seller, it helps. But, for people like me who have a different approach to this whole thing, I'm not in it for the quick buck. I'm not in it for the short term. I'm in this for the long run, and hopefully one day you can get a brick and mortar. But, to do that, you have to have a track record of business, and in today's age, basically that means online business for 1 to 2 years before you're even really considered a real eligible candidate for a business loan, whether you have collateral or backing or not. Most banks just aren't going to take that risk, especially in the current economy with the exorbitant prime rates that we have and whatnot. But that's a whole different issue. Hopefully this helps somebody. Peace.